Well, very good afternoon from me, live from the man cave. As I'm looking outside there, it's dull, it's wet, it's miserable. Typical autumn weather in the UK. 2 weeks ago I was lying on the beach in Mallorca, full sun and having the time of my life. But what I'm going to do today is going to do a boot review. It's a follow-on to a review I did, it's got to be 2 years ago there now, when I did a review of my favourite hiking boots. I'd used them for years, never had an issue with them, but for the first time I did have a bit of a problem with them, and the boots were Mountain Warehouse. I think this was about my fourth pair, but I'm not one of these that hangs on the boots until they're actually hanging off your feet. I do believe in having a good grip, and these have got a vibrant sole at the bottom, and they were nice and comfortable. But I did have an issue with one of my legs where I started to climb uphill and I was getting a pain in my shin. So what I did, I bought another pair of boots. So that's the boot I had been using and still do use, but my very good friend Stu Bloggs put me onto another boot, and which he recommended. I went ahead and bought them on his recommendation, and there were these Dry Sport boots. Very rugged boot, very deep, thick tread, which really impressed me. I got them the day before. I got a phone call of fellow YouTuber Katie Fox, who said, how do you fancy meeting up tomorrow for a hike? We did 4 fells in about 10 miles, and I'd only just received these, so I had no option but to put these on, basically out of the box, and just keep my fingers crossed. I put 2 pairs of socks on just in case, because they are quite a wide fit, but honestly it was like wearing a pair of slippers, and I felt so confident and all. Despite her promising me full sun, it was windy, it was raining, it was very slippery. One of them days you're very aware of your footing, especially on a descent from a fell. And I just felt so confident in these, and to be honest, these have been my new go-to boot since then. As I remember, I paid round about £85 for them. They were on sale. I got a free pair of socks, free delivery, and I also got a boot bag as well. The only downside with them, they're not light. They are very heavy. So if you're the type of person that likes a really light boot, you may want to look at something else. Having said that, if you go on the Dry Sport website, they have got so many different options. Some lightweight, some wide fit, so you're bound to find something there to suit you. But I've had these there now almost 2 years, and if I look at that sole there, it's absolutely immaculate. The actual boot themselves are made in Italy. Again, waterproof, very hard wearing. They've got this padded collar all the way around there, so when you really tighten your boots up, they're not biting into you at all. I like the fact they tie right up, and your foot feels very secure in here. When you're coming downhill, again, you feel very secure in these. I've noticed a lot of people will turn around and say they don't last long. The leather splits, or the leather comes away, or the leather cracks. It's so important to realise every time you use your boots, you've got to feed the leather. And by that I mean you've got to cover them. I use dubbin and get a tin of dubbin for £1, and every time I come back after I've cleaned my boots, I'll then smother them in dubbin. I won't bother brushing it off, I'll just let it sink into the leather, and to be honest, I've never ever had an issue with these Dry Sports or my Mountain Warehouse boots, as long as I continue to feed the leather. You do that, you won't have an issue at all. For me, Mountain Warehouse, a good boot, a good price, and as long as you look after it, you shouldn't have a problem. The vibrant soles, I must admit, with Mountain Warehouse, I find the tread is not as deep and it sort of wears down pretty quick. Every 2 to 3 years I'm having to change my boots, mainly because I lose confidence in the tread. 2 years with these, the tread's not altered at all. So again, I'm very happy with them. These are a nice wide fit as well. Now you might turn around and say, well, I don't need a wide fit. But when you're hiking, and if you're doing 10, 12, 15 miles a day, especially in the summer, your feet will swell. So not only do I always get a half size bigger in my boots, I always know that if there's a bit of a nip in a boot, when I go out and do 12 miles, that nip is going to be hurting us by the time I get back. One boot I would love to try is Alberg, for 2 reasons. A UK company, the boots are made in the UK, and they're made 15 miles up the road from me in Richmond. So what you can do in there, you can go in there and you can get your foot measured properly. And so whether you've got something like a bunion, whether you've got a very narrow foot or a very wide foot, they can make a boot to suit your foot. I like the fact it's local. I also like the fact it's made in this country. The only thing I don't like is these boots here are less than half the price of some of the Alberg boots I've been looking at. But I would love to be able to buy a pair of Alberg boots to see exactly what they are like. The most important thing you can buy are boots, because I don't care where you go, I don't care what the weather's like, I don't care what the company's like. If you've got bad fitting boots, you are not going to enjoy that day. So a good boot for me has got to have 2 things. It's got to be comfortable and it's got to be safe. And when I say safe, what I mean is it's got to have a good sole. And that sole has got to have a good grip. So 2 boots that I use all the time, Mountain Warehouse and Dry Sports. Dry Sports is my new #1 boot, my new favourite boot. One boot I've never had before is one of them summer boots. The other ones I mean, this type, Jack Walker. I've always wanted a summer boot, something very lightweight, something waterproof and something that had a decent grip. All of that at a decent price. And I found these Jack Walker boots on Amazon. They look quite good. I paid round about £50 for them, so a good price as well. I got them, tried them on. I always order that half a size bigger, and I got a size 11. As soon as I put these on, straight away they were tight. They were really tight, not only at the end but all the way around. I had decided to go out for a hike the day these arrived, so I thought, well, I'll give them a go. They might just want bedding in. And yes, they were super lightweight. To be quite honest, when I was descending off the fell that I climbed, I felt quite confident in them as well. But I could constantly feel how tight they were all the way around. So I wasn't happy. I did give it a review on Amazon, and I got contacted by the company asking what the problem was. I told them. They asked me to take some photographs of the sole, the inner sole with my foot on it. They turned around and said, well, we'll send you another pair, a different make, and see if that's any better. Basically exactly the same problem. Too tight, too narrow. The sizing is all wrong. If you've got a dainty, narrow foot, these boots will be absolutely fantastic for you, because they are lightweight, they're a decent price, they're waterproof, decent enough grip at the bottom. So these might be for you. But if you've got a traditional, normal sized foot, forget about Jack Walker, because they will be absolutely no good whatsoever. They did offer me another pair of boots, a size 12. Well, given that I'm a 10.5, I can get into a 10. A size 12, you're trying to climb a fell with 2 flippers on. So I turned them down, I sent the other boots back, and I've had to keep these boots and lost out on 50 quid. I've always wanted a summer boot, a nice lightweight boot. My search goes on. But just a quick video showing the boots that I'm using there now. Mountain Warehouse and Dry Sports. Dry Sports, me number one. Mountain Warehouse, I'm still using because very, very comfortable, as is the Dry Sports. Now, if you go on somewhere like Amazon and you pick any boots, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of reviews. The vast majority of them will be 5-star reviews. Whether you can trust them reviews or not, I don't know. One company I always trust in is Which, and I'm going to put up a list of their best boots, hiking boots for 2023. Based on affordability, based on durability, and what people have said. It was very interesting to find out that number 3 in the Which list for best boot 2023 was Dry Sports. So if you're looking for a new boot, you're on a budget, you want something comfortable, waterproof, with a superb sole, I recommend you go on the Dry Sports website and just have a look and make your own mind up. Hopefully next video we'll be back out hiking again. If you've got anything at all from this, give us a big thumbs up, really would appreciate that. And a big thanks to one of my subscribers, Mark, who basically suggested this update on a boot review. So thanks very much for that, Mark, really appreciate it. And hopefully won't be too long before I'm back out again. Cheers.